Hello guys, welcome to Comic Book Reviews here. I'm Justin, and today I'll be reviewing all 8 parts of Daredevil End of Days. For our review, this is a highly recommended comic book. If you're a big Marvel fan, you love Daredevil, pick this up at your local comic book shop. Get all 8 issues. I got it in my comic book shop for $2.99 a pop. Anyways, let's head right into this issue. It starts off with him just getting smacked around by this guy. I don't know who he is, but I'm pretty sure nobody else does, but he's getting his ass kicked by this guy. And this guy ends up killing Daredevil. And the whole comic series is, I think, well, the first 2 issues so far, is all about this detective guy trying to find out what happened to Daredevil, like, what caused this person to kill him, and they haven't found this person yet. And this detective is always going around asking people what they think of this. And some guy actually he met this guy who's a big fan of Daredevil, and his wife was recording it instead of calling the cops. I know, crazy. And his wife got on record, and if you listen to Daredevil's last words, he says Mapone. Now the detective is trying to figure out who is Mapone. Is it a person? Is it just a word? He actually finds out that he did something that the people of New York didn't like. People actually like Daredevil a lot in New York and City. He actually started attacking Kingpin because Kingpin made these Kingpin drones of himself, and he made them go and monitor the city. And Daredevil has this sort of rage, and he found Kingpin, and they just started going at it. There's a fight in this issue that is so awesome, and Daredevil ends up just killing him. Not killing him, but almost beating him to death. Kingpin's on the ground, but it's a really good fight because Daredevil got smacked around, so did Kingpin. Yeah, and all the people in New York saw it. They're like, Daredevil, why did you do that? And Daredevil's like, I couldn't handle it anymore. And Daredevil broke superhero rule number 1. Don't kill anybody. Okay? Yeah, and that's the end of the issue. It ends with the detective writing his notes out in the rain. And you can see in the background a Daredevil figure, and he has red eyes. So, yeah. That's my first issue. Hello, welcome guys to the second issue of Daredevil End of Days. Pretty cool cover. I like the first one better, but this front cover actually has nothing to do with the issue, which kind of disappoints me. But let's jump right in. So this issue starts off with the detective trying to find more clues about what happened. He actually tries to go to Avengers Tower to talk to Natasha Romanoff, which is Black Widow. But trying to get information because they were close friends. But it turns out that the computer Jarvis is just like won't let you in, and it's just it didn't allow him to speak with any of the Avengers. It turns out the detective is like, I need to go to a bar, and he ends up meeting Nick Fury out in the cold, and it's white Nick Fury, not black Nick Fury from like the Avengers movie, but it doesn't matter. This detective guy tries to ask him, I need to speak to Black Widow about something, and Nick Fury just says she died 5 years ago, which nobody else knows except for the Avengers, to get more clues. And he ends up going to Daredevil's ex-wife's house to get more information. And she gets really mad with him because this is unexpected what happened. She tries to talk to her, and he tells her about that Mapone. His last word was Mapone, and she doesn't know. Anyways, they're saying their goodbyes, and she just smacks him across the face. Let me show you in this comic. He's like, cute kid, because she had a little son. And check this out. Wham! Smacks him straight across the face. And he goes back to the Daily Bugle, J. Jonah Jameson ends up getting mad at him. You're supposed to go to Daredevil's funeral, blah 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 blah. And I hate J. Jonah. And he's like, he's right. He's like, the story isn't at the funeral. So what happens is, at the end of this issue, he ends up going to the actual funeral, and he's looking at his grave, and Elektra's like right behind him, like with a mean look on her face. And she's like, "You're very brave to come here." And she's like, "I know I can kill you." And that's where the comic ends for issue 2. Great issue. Loved it. You guys have to pick these up. If you guys are thinking, "Oh, I don't really like Daredevil," and you never read a Daredevil comic, shut up. Yeah, please pick this up. You gotta pick this up. Daredevil End of Days, all 8 issues. Hello guys, welcome to Daredevil End of Days, issue 3 review. And before I review this, I just want to say the cover, again, has nothing to do with what happens in the comic. Elektra doesn't die, which I was kind of afraid of, but... So, the issue starts off with the last issue where Ben Aldridge, the detective, is at Daredevil's funeral, and Elektra pops up right behind her. And she has something behind his back, telling him that, "Stay out of my life. Stay away from me. Next time you see me, it won't be a pretty sight for you." And it turns out she has a kid who's playing in the soccer game near the funeral. And she actually was pointing just her finger behind him. And this Ben Aldridge is so nervous. And he ends up going to a friend of Elektra's. He ends up trying to talk to her and get information on Daredevil, trying to find out the last years of his life. And he doesn't know anything about Mapone. That's his main word that he's looking for. So he winds up going to this other lady who was an Avenger. I think it was Wasp. Yeah, it was Wasp. And she's a teacher at this college. And she actually met Daredevil 5 years before he died. 5 years ago. And she saw him, his eye was pulled out, which doesn't really matter because he was blind, but he was shot, and he was just, getting beat the hell out of by this guy named the Hood, which is really pretty interesting and mysterious, the Hood. And he asked her the word Mapone, and she still doesn't know. So Ben Aldridge is going to just continue on to see who he can get to find. And the comic ends off with Ben Aldridge getting a phone call saying that they found Bullseye. And the comic ends with a picture of this, Daredevil himself. So we'll have to see next issue. But that's issue 3 for you guys. Pretty good cover. I wish it had to do with Elektra's death, but, I mean, she's just hung there, so obviously you'd think that she would be dead. But, I'll see you guys later for the next issue review. Hello, guys. Welcome to Daredevil End of Days issue 4 review. And so far, I just want to say this is my favorite issue so far in Daredevil End of Days. And the cover actually has to do with Bullseye's death. So, as we were left off last issue, they got, Ben Aldridge got a call saying that they found Bullseye. It was basically the guy who killed Daredevil. And they found him in this hotel room, dead. Like, literally, look. He was shot in the head. And, as you can see right here, the bullet hole. And there's a gun right next to him. And, Ben Aldridge and the investigators are just trying to find out what happened. And there's, as you can see, it says Mapone right here. If you look, Mapone. Yep. So, and Ben Aldridge actually figures it out. The bullet ricocheted against the glass and it hit him in the forehead, which was crazy. And they found a red devil mask under his bed, and they actually go talk to the witness, the civilian who was captured by Bullseye, and she's some sort of hooker. Apparently she was dressed as Elektra. Yeah, she was actually dressed as Elektra just to do, some, perverted stuff. I'm not going to say it, but apparently Bullseye thought it was the actual Elektra, but it wasn't. And he kidnapped her, took her to the hotel room, threatened to kill her, and she was explaining it, saying that he kept on saying the word Mapone a lot, and it must have been a thing between Daredevil and Bullseye that was used a lot, that word. And she was explaining all the scenes that happened, and here I'll show you some of it. Sorry for the little glare. And that right there. And he actually turned off the lights, put a gun to his own head. Bullseye. He thought he was unstoppable because he killed Daredevil, and he shot himself. And in the head. That's how the whole thing happened. And Ben Aldrich actually ends up going to an old villain of Daredevil's. I don't know who it is because this is my first time reading Daredevil comics, so I don't know. And he goes to, anyway, guys, I'm reading all of these, and I'll keep you guys updated with the 5th issue. See you guys later. Welcome, guys, to Daredevil End of Days, issue number 5. Love the front cover, even though it doesn't have anything to do with it again. But this is one of my favorites. I know the last one was, but this one beats it by a mile. So the issue opens up last time with Ben Aldrich and the Punisher are talking, and Ben Aldrich is trying to ask him, what does Mapone mean? And turns out Punisher does know what Mapone means, but he tells him what it means to Ben Aldrich, so we don't really know yet. He tells him what it means to Ben Aldrich, which is basically, it means Daredevil has files, history, dirt on all of his enemies. We still don't know yet. I swear, it's one of these series that, you just keep on wanting reading, and it gets more interesting. Their little conversation ends with the prison. It starts to go on smoke mode, like Punisher breaks out, and Ben Aldrich gets the hell out of there. And then we go to Ben Aldrich actually goes to one of Daredevil's old allies. His name is, I'm not sure if he's an ally or villain, but he owns this comic book shop. It's funny. They sell like costumes of Spider-Man, Iron Man, Thor. His name was Gladiator, and he actually Daredevil asked him to make a suit for him, but it was in smaller size. So actually what Punisher told Daredevil is all these years he's been training a kid to become the next him. So he kind of knew he was going to die sooner or later, so he needed someone to continue his reign, his trilogy. He ends up going to this hospital to one of the victims of the Daredevil, the new Daredevil guy, which we haven't seen yet. And he's broken bones, and they have the TV on, and on the news it says that Punisher broke out of prison. Pops up. I don't know who he is. Please put in the comment section below if you know who he is. Tell me. But and he just rams Ben Aldrich out the window, as you can see right here. And he actually says in his mind, if anytime I need Daredevil, I need him now. And what do we know? At the end of the last page, we see this Daredevil, not actual Daredevil, but the kid Daredevil. The one that Daredevil trained, flying through the window, gonna help him. So, cool cliffhanger. We'll see what happens next issue. See you guys later. This issue was great.